We now welcome the number 10 ranked UFC women's flyweight contender in the world, Maycee Barber. Maycee, thank you for the time today.
Thank you.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hello, Maycee. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Maycee, I feel like a lot of people are boiling this fight down to, Alexa's great boxing, but Maycee Barber just has to get her down to the mat and that's a wrap. Can you explain why it's not always that simple?
That's how a lot of people could look at it, because it's true. She does have great striking, but I'm also known for my ground and pound and my ability to finish on the ground. But for me, I feel like it's not just, oh, Alexa has great striking. I know that I have great striking as well. That's all we've been focusing on ever since, my last fight, the fight before, it's always continuing to evolve. So my striking has improved, my grappling has improved, and so has my wrestling. So, but yeah, fights are never going to be just like, oh, this is a one and done. Like, it's never going to be as simple. It's a fight, anything can happen. So you can expect a standing on the grappling, wrestling. It can go just about anywhere.
I know that you're always working hard in the gym. Obviously, the injuries slowed that down a bit, but, you're very married to the game, so to speak. You're young in your career. What is something that you've, finally gotten good at in terms of just the fight game that maybe you weren't, so great at earlier in your career?
I think one of the biggest things for me, and just in overall like training and evolving as a fighter and athlete, is just the maturity. It's not just the training, it's also the recovery, it's also the nutrition, it's also just the mental preparation. And I think just being able to fully train and learn everywhere has helped me a ton. And for me, I don't just want to be a good fighter. I want to be a good professional athlete. I want to be a good overall human, and just like my whole body, like everything. And I want it to all be 100% and the best I can be.
Yourself and Sean O'Malley still remain come from season one, kind of like the faces of Contender Series. 2020, several guys had a chance to headline UFC events. None of them got the win. You versus Jojo Calderwood would be a great main event on a fight night. Do you feel like you could be the one to kind of get that first main event victory for the Contender Series guys and girls?
I do. I think it'd be a great idea, especially because I'm young. We both have good followings. It's a big fight, and Contender Series, the Contender Series has done amazing with all the fighters that have come up through. And you're going to see a lot of us young prospects, and you're going to see a lot of us, not just young prospects, but us become the contenders and become champions. So I'm super excited, and I would love to take that spot first.
My final question, I'm asking all of the fighters this. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. What is Maycee Barber's idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
I actually don't know yet. But I have, honestly, this fight has been the main focus, and it's been a bummer to not have everybody be able to be here with me, my friends, my family, but my family is actually on their way right now so that I can spend the day with them afterwards. So I'm probably going to be spending it with my family and my friends.
Hey, thank you, Maycee, and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Martina Kaluch with In the Cage.
Hello, do you hear me? Sorry. Hello?
Me?
Oh, hello, Maycee. Hi. Just wanted to make sure that you hear me because I had some technical problems further. Okay, Maycee, just 3 questions from me. First of all, I would like to know what kind of lesson did you take from this fight with Roxanne Modafferi?
I think for me, the lesson that I learned was just overall patience. And it wasn't just in the fight. It was mainly after the fight that I learned that, patience and just mentality of being able to learn in different ways.
Okay. And fighting in co-main event, is it like some additional stress for you?
No, things happen. The co-main event fell through with Chris Weidman getting positive. So obviously that sucks for him and his opponent, but I'm definitely excited to be able to be moved up to co-main event. That's just closer to being main event, and I feel like that's where we belong. So I'm excited.
I'm sure that you've heard some words from ESPN presenter Stephen Smith and he said that he doesn't like to watch women punching their face each other, and he doesn't want to watch women MMA at all. What would be your message for Stephen Smith and all those people, mainly guys, who don't like women MMA?
You know, I feel like for females, we are in a male-dominated sport, but that doesn't mean that we can't do that as well. You know, we are very good, and you've seen it with some of the best fights in all of MMA have come from women. You know, Joanna versus Weili is a great example of that, and that was something that people are always going to remember. And for people like Stephen Smith and all the haters, most of them can't even throw a punch. So there's a lot of opinions that I have on that. But really, I've been focused on this fight, and I've just been waiting to be able to say what I want to say about different things like that for the end of the fight.
Of course. Thank you very much. Have a great fight. Thank you.
Yeah.
We will take our next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Maycee, coming back from the injury, medical science has advanced so much in recent years to where, a knee injury like yours is no longer the career changer it used to be. As you come back from that, how have you felt in terms of, your confidence on the knee, things like that? Because, again, I know that is a big deal, especially for a fighter like yourself who is so dynamic with your kind of explosive takedowns and things like that. How was that coming back? And I hear a lot of fighters say they actually feel better, after coming back from something like that.
For me, I feel like I had the best surgeon in the world. I had the best therapy in the world. I had a great team behind me. And on top of that, I'm 22. So I feel like overall, for me to have such a serious injury, it was a blessing that it came at such an early time in my career, because I have the youth on my side to be able to heal, and I had the best team in the world to help me. So yeah, I do feel actually like a better fighter and a better athlete. And I feel like my movement and everything is stronger through the injury, just because of how much recovery and how much focus we were able to put on training my legs and making sure that everything was strong and ready to go.
I know you've worked with a lot of different coaches, during your career. I know for this camp, you were working with Mike Valley and Izzy Martinez, the team out in Chicago. How much has that team added for you? I know talking to Mike Valley when he was working with Felice Harrigan said that he's built a really strong program, especially for the women's fighters in his gym. So how much has that team added to you as you come back for this fight?
It's been huge. Mike Valley is an awesome coach. Izzy Martinez, I've known him a long time. He's an awesome coach. They're both very different personalities. Mike is a lot more laid back, more technical, and Izzy's super technical, but he's also like a go-getter, like a go, go, go. And he's good energy to have around, and I'm very bummed that I can't have him here tonight for Saturday. But overall, the camp has been amazing. I've had every single day of every single practice has been focused on me and what we need to do for this fight and for the future fights. So it's been a really strong camp, and there's been a lot of women that I've been able to work with. And also for me, it wasn't moving from Milwaukee to Chicago was not because, the last camp that I was at was bad. It was just because I wanted to make sure that the focus was on me, and the training partners that I had were my size and a lot more women. So that's what we did.
When you first got to the UFC, Maycee, you had no problem setting high expectations for yourself, saying you wanted to be the youngest champion in company history. Obviously, you can't predict a knee injury, knocking you out for a year. But obviously, as you come back now, what kind of goals, what kind of expectations are you putting on yourself as you step into this fight and kind of reintroduce yourself to the flyweight division?
I always want to set high expectations. I'm never going to shoot and aim low and set low goals. That's not something I'm ever going to do, because it's not satisfying. I want to aim big, and I want to go for big things, because for me, the bigger the goal and the bigger the dream, the higher the reward. So, and the more I can push, I want to push, and I want to grind, and I want to grow to be the best that I can. And I want to shoot for big things. So, the goal and the ambition is still there, even from when I started and signed with UFC.
Last one for me. You've fought on big stages and you've had a lot of attention since you arrived at the UFC. But as you come back, this fight is obviously going to be a little more important just because of the time off and the injury. But you are stepping into a co-main event. on a pay-per-view. Do you feel like this is an opportunity for you to really shine and kind of remind, the rest of the flyweight division from Valentina Shevchenko on down, that you are here and that you are still coming for everybody in the division? Because this is a, kind of a bright spotlight for you to fight under.
This is a huge fight, especially being, like you said, co-main event against a tough opponent. And it is. I'm coming off an injury. I'm coming off a loss. So a lot of things are going to be huge and really good and really big when I win. And I'm super excited to be able to show all the flyweights that I'm still here and I'm still coming. And I know that I don't have to show them because they already know.
Thank you, Maycee.
Mm-hmm.
We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4-to-Win MMA. Cote, please go ahead.
See, I'm so sorry. I just had a technical difficulty. I'm so sorry. How you doing, Maycee? Good to talk to you.
Same. Good to you.
Well, being a young prospect, it's a rite of passage to have the octagon jitters, the first UFC loss. You had both in the span of 2 years, I guess. What could you say are the biggest lessons on your UFC career so far?
It's been a crazy ride. Yes, I've had the octagon jitters. I've had the injury. I've had a loss. I've had a lot of things, and I feel like all of those have taught me a lot of different things. Everything that I've experienced within my career in the UFC has been new. It's always changing. It's always evolving. And there's just a lot of things that I've learned, and it's made me just overall, I feel like very wise in being just 22, and I'm like super blessed to be able to be here.
You've done a lot of preparation at Valley Flow Striking. Belal is fighting soon. Nacho is set to debut in April. What can you tell me about the spirits of the team at this time with you and all the guys getting ready to fight?
All the guys at the team they're go-getters. They're always grinding. Every time I go to the gym, they're always there. They're always training. Even after practice, they're doing the extra things. So being around that kind of energy has been, it's been really refreshing to be able to be around people that they just genuinely love what they do. They're always happy. It's always good energy, and they're always working hard. So I'm excited for us and for all of the things that we're going to achieve in 2021.
Well, you're working your jiu-jitsu with Coach Rodriguez, am I right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You're working on your jiu-jitsu with Coach Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, we've been training at Valley Flow, yes, with him.
Yes. Are you prepared to enforce your will if the fight goes to the ground?
Yeah, we're always prepared, and Coach Alberto he's been awesome. The top game, the pressure, everything has been really focusing on what we already have been doing, but just making it just that much better.
Grasso has been a big name in the organization for a few years now. What do you think a victory over Alexa can do for you in terms of future opportunities?
I feel like a win over Alexa is big. It's obviously big because, like I've said in the past, she has a big following. She's a strong fighter. She's a tough fighter. She's been around for a while. She's got a solid record against a lot of solid fighters, and a win against her shows a lot of things because she hasn't just fought girls who you're like, who's that? She's fought Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She's fought Tatiana Suarez. She's fought some tough girls. So a win over her is going to show where it belongs.
Final question from me. As a Chilean, I need to ask about the relationship between you and Nacho Bamontes and Caro Gallardo. How is the day-to-day with the Chilean Colony there in Chicago?
I love those guys. I train with Caro basically every single day. She's around my size, so we were sparring, we were training, we were doing all the drills together. I love her. She's becoming a good friend of mine, and same thing with Nacho. He's just a little bit bigger. I can't really train with him as much. He helps a little bit with the movement, but aside from that, it's just he's in the gym. So they're a lot of fun to be around, and just like I said, the vibe around the gym has been it's been refreshing. Again, they love what they do. And that's their life. And I'm excited to see both of them have great success in their careers.
And I'm excited to see you compete on Saturday as well. Thank you so much for your time, Maycee. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Maycee. That is all the time we had for you. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.